Hey everybody, good morning, welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies, and we're here for the weekly watches, which has been 2 weeks worth, and over the last 2 and a bit weeks I've only seen 9 films, which is a bit of a poor effort for me, but life got in the way a little bit. I went to Birmingham with the Loons, as you know, then I weren't too well, then I've had the builders in at home, etc, etc, you know how it is, so we've got 9 titles to talk about, and as I say, it's over the last 2 and a bit weeks, so some of them have been a pretty long time ago, so if I'm a bit sketchy with the details, please excuse me. I'll do what I can. Sometimes I've forgotten what I've had for my dinner yesterday, so I've got no chance with this. Anyway, let's get on with it. Right, I kicked off the watches, what some people might call a guilty pleasure, but as I always say, never feel guilty about what you like, and that's the first Charlie's Angels film, and I just think this is a lot of fun. Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and a brilliant supporting cast. Actually, you wouldn't think a film that's considered as throwaway as this would have such a good supporting cast. Bill Murray pops up, Sam Rockwell pops up, Tim Curry pops up. You've also got Matt LeBlanc, Luke Wilson, Melissa McCarthy from the year 2000, directed by Mac Q, which is a daft name to say the least. I think he did Terminator Salvation as well. Yeah, I just enjoyed this film. The girls are going after some tech guy who is trying to put trackers in everybody's phone, and this is the year 2000, so quite apt if you look at it today. Yeah, good fun. I enjoy it. It's daft, it's stupid, it's a bit of a laugh. They're good to look at, running around and less things. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. I've never seen the second one, Full Throttle. I pretty much assume it's going to be much the same, and I think it might even be directed by the same guy. Yeah, so I might get round to that this week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like that. Yeah, it's Charlie's Angels. Next up, and this was a start of 3 creature feature films that I watched, and that is Wolfen from 1981, directed by Michael Wadley, starring Albert Finney, and this was bloody terrible. God, this was an awful film. You see the wolf, I think it's about 1 hour 50 minutes long, which is it is too long, and you don't see a wolf to an hour and a half. The wolf kills themselves, you see before that. They're done by this weird POV thing through the wolf's eyes, which some psychedelic view, really hokily done and poorly done in my opinion. You don't get what I call the money shot on a werewolf film, which is a changing scene. You're teased with it at one point where you think this Red Indian guy, he's going to change into a wolf, but no, he just runs around like a prat naked. Oh, absolutely awful. It's boring. I was zoning out for a lot of it. What Albert Finney's doing, starring in this, God only knows. They must have chucked some money at him, because, my God, it's so difficult to get through. I think it's the worst film for quite a while. Yeah, not a good start for my trilogy of creature features, that's for sure. That's Wolfen, and I think it's got some fans. So if you are one of them fans, let me know what you see in it, because I can't see it. Not one that I'll be keeping in the collection, I don't think. Yeah, Wolfen, pretty bloody awful. Right, the filling in my creature feature sandwich was Orca, the killer whale. I don't know whether killer whales make a good filling for a sandwich, but I'm willing to give it a try. Right, this is from 1977, directed by Michael Anderson. It's got great filmography. Logan's Run, the Around the World in 80 Days, Operation Crossbow, and one of my personal favourites, The Dam Busters. Stars Richard Harris. Richard Harris is really good in this. Charlotte Rampling, again, she's good, and lovely Bo Derek, and this is, don't get me wrong, I think this is a bad film, but I really enjoyed it. I was laughing along, and I don't think it's intended to be funny. There's this one stage where they catch this pregnant whale, and its belly's been sliced open, and the fetus of a baby whale falls out of its belly. And I know it's not supposed to be funny, and you're probably shocked that I'm laughing, but it was done so hokey. It was almost like the chest burst scene in Alien, as this fetus whale just flops onto the deck of the shore, and the daddy whale that becomes like the killer whale that's hunting them down is watching from the side of the boat and is giving it, like Star Wars 3 when Hayden Christensen finds out that his wife's been killed and he's giving it, no, this is what this whale's done. It absolutely ridiculous. It had me in bits, and it's just like that all the way through, unintentionally funny. At one stage, this whale managed to start a fire at an oil refinery. Yeah, whales can do arson apparently. And Richard Harris is stood by the shore, and the whale's poking its head out of the water, giving the big ones, come on, I'm going to have you. But yeah, you're a whale, you stay in your place in your water. If I don't come anywhere near you can't do nothing, you prat. Yeah, really good, really funny, really enjoyed it. I could be going back to this again, and you know what? The 4K on it was pretty nice as well. Glad I made that purchase. Yeah, really good stuff. And to finish my creature feature triple bill, I went for the Cat People from 1942, directed by Jacques Tourneur, starring Simone Smith, that lady there. Simone Simon and Kent Smith. And this was a good film. I really enjoyed this. It was so creepy and so atmospheric. It felt almost like a horror film noir, which, if you know me, I like me noir, so it was right up my street. This was about Simone Simon's character. She'd come to live in America from an Eastern European country, which I'm blanking on now. Serbia. She come from Serbia and falls in love with Kent Smith. They eventually get married, but from the village that Simone's from, there's a curse in the village where if she gets intimate with a male, she's going to turn into a killer cat. So she's avoiding intimacy with a new husband, but of course the inevitable happens, and yep, she turns into a killer cat, and it's just great fun. Like I say, really dark, really atmospheric, really enjoyable. Quite a short film. I think it's about a shade over an hour and a quarter, so zips along at a good rate, and just what you need when you haven't got a lot of time, what you fancy fitting a movie in. Now, I've never seen the Natasha Kinski, I think it's 70s remake, so if anybody's seen that and it stands up to this, please let me know, because I'd like to give that a watch, yeah, because I enjoyed this so much. So to recap on me creature features, really, really good, highly recommended, brilliant laugh. Don't think they intended to be a brilliant laugh, but it had me in stitches, so kudos to that. Don't touch it with a barge pole. Absolutely shite. Yeah, that's my creature feature triple bill. And next up, from 1993, directed by George P. Cosmatos, the 4K that was very, very kindly sent to me by Ellery. Ellery Talks Film. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his channel name, but I'll stick the details down below. Go over and give Ellery a sub. Great guy. He's just starting out on his YouTube journey, but he's putting out some great content, different topics, showing off his collection, all good stuff. Yeah, go over, give Ellery some love. He's doing a good job and deserves more subscribers. Yeah, Ellery very, very kindly sent me over this. Absolutely no need to make, but I do really appreciate it. and I'd seen it a long time ago, and what a cast it's got in it. Kurt Russell, obviously, and Val Kilmer, the main two, Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp, Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton, Powers Booth as Curly Bill, the bad guy. What great bad guy Powers Booth makes. Michael Biehn as the other bad guy, Johnny Ringo, another great character. Charlton Heston, Stephen Lang, Thomas Hayden Church, Michael Rooker, Billy Bob Thornton, Billy Zane. It goes on and on and on and on. What a cast. And yeah, really enjoyable Western. I don't enjoy it as much as a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people do have this right up there on their top Western list. I don't. The Wyatt Earp Doc Holliday story, I think I do actually prefer the Wyatt Earp Kevin Costner one, which is surprising probably to a lot of you. And Gunfight at the OK Corral will, I think, always be my favourite telling of the story, with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas. But this is a good action film, good Western. 2 hours, I think it's well over 2 hours. I think it could be a little bit shorter, 2 hours 10. They could cut a little bit to make it about 1 hour 50. Then I think it might be a better Western. But it's very, very enjoyable. Val Kilmer is great in it. Rest in peace. But for me, the two villains, Powers Booth and Michael Biehn, I think they make the film. I think a lot of Westerns for me live and die on their villains, and these were two good ones, especially Powers Booth. I love Powers Booth. I could watch him in anything. Yep, brilliant. 2-star, wholly recommended. Thanks very much. Again, Ellery, really appreciate it. 4K as well, look really, really good. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, next up is a film that was recommended to me by Ollie Talks Films, and I don't think he meant it in particular to me, but to the group as a whole. And Ollie and we seem to have differing tastes, let's put it that way. He's becoming like the new James, because James and I, we always have different tastes on film. I think maybe Ollie should check his parentage, because maybe James is his secret dad. Yeah, Ollie recommended this, and sorry, Ollie, this wasn't for me. I'm not into my sentimental films particularly, and this had it in bloody spades. It was far too much for me. Decent cast: Shirley Mlan, Christopher Plummer, Misha Barton, apologies, Neve Campbell, Pete Postlethwaite, Stephen Amell, Gregory Smith. 2007, directed by Richard Attenborough, and I think this is his last film he directed, which, great man, but not the way to go out for me. Yeah, like I say, very sickly, very sugar-coated. It's all about Shirley MacLaine's character. It's set in the 90s to begin with. Her husband, a former Air Force veteran in the Second World War, has just died, and it becomes apparent that Shirley MacLaine had this life before she married her husband, where she had this secret love, if you want, because I think she was from a quite privileged background, and the guy that she fell in love with was very poor, so the parents didn't approve of it, and this secret love didn't last long, because he was killed when his B-52 or B-17 bomber crashed over Ireland in World War II. And this is about then Shirley MacLaine's family then discovering all about this secret life they didn't know the mother had. And it's sort of like setting flashbacks between 90s America and Ireland and wartime America and Ireland. And for me, it gets a bit befuddled. It gets a bit convoluted in the flashbacks. And to believe the story as it happened, you've got to like sort of suspend suspend your belief that so many coincidences would take place at any one time. Yeah, it was like absolutely ridiculous in that sense. And also, there's this totally unnecessary IRA subplot going along, which I don't think the film needed that. I think the film could have been a lot tighter and a lot tidier in its prose without that. Yeah, I'm glad Ollie likes it, but it's not for me. Closing the Ring, no. Pete Postlethwaite's really good in it, though. I do like Pete Postlethwaite. Yeah, sorry, Ollie, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Next up, and can happily say a far better film. That's Hardcore from 1979, directed by Paul Schrader, who also, talking of Indicator, directed this one, Blue Collar, which absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen that one, grab that one. Yeah, this stars George C. Scott, and he's this businessman, and he's highly religious, sort of rules his family with a rod of iron, if you like. Not that he's a bad dad or anything like. He enjoys his family, but he's a very God-fearing man. And one day his daughter disappears, and it becomes apparent that she's been dragged into the San Francisco seedier parts of life where she's working as a prostitute, and it's all about George C. Scott's character going to San Francisco and tracking her down, and him getting dragged into this life of prostitutes and pawn shops and peep shows and stuff like that. And yeah, really good, gritty, dark drama. And just, I don't know how true this view of 70s San Francisco is, but God, what a seedy place if it's anything like how it's portrayed in here. I certainly wouldn't want to go out after dark, and probably not in the daytime, knowing what a coward I am, but there you go. Yeah, George C. Scott, Hardcore, highly, highly recommended. Next time the Indicator sale's on, pick that up, and also pick Blue Collar up also from Schrader if you haven't got them, because I'm going to watch Blue Collar again soon, because I remember really enjoying that. And Schrader is a director I think I could explore more now. I think I might try and get into some more of his, because that's two really, really good films of his. Yeah, that's Hardcore. Right, as good as Hardcore was, it's not my pick of the week. Well, the pick of a couple of weeks. And that would be The Right Stuff from 1983, directed by Philip Kaufman. Oh, what a film this was, and what a cast. Sam Shepard, Scott Glenn, Ed Harris, Dennis Quaid, Fred Ward, the lovely Barbara Hershey, Veronica Cartwright, who you remember as the not Ripley female from Alien, Lance Henriksen, again Alien, Jeff Goldblum even pops up in there. Yeah, what a great film. Now, this was well over 3 hours, sort of like 3 hours, 20 minutes long, but I could have watched it for 6 hours. It was that good. It's all about these 7 astronauts on the Mercury project, where they're trying to enter the space race and beat the Russians into space and manned orbits and stuff like that. And it starts off from them breaking the sound barrier right up until the start of the Apollo missions. And yeah, just great stuff that had me interested from start to finish. And what I liked about it, it really flushed out the characters of the different guys and how they got on with doing the different missions, how that affected their home lives with their families and all that, because there's a lot of pressure on these guys. I think at one stage they were saying you had a 1 in 4 chance of surviving a mission, which, imagine that, going to work and think like there's a 25% chance I might not go home, and what effect that would have on your home life and just life in general. Yeah, great, great, great film that I thoroughly enjoyed. Like I say, I could have watched it for longer. Yeah, brilliant. That's The Right Stuff. if, like me, it's one that you pass by, maybe because of the length of the film, get it stuck in a player, get it watched, because it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. The right stuff. And to finish off the week, a rewatch of Snowpiercer from 2013, Bong Joon-ho. Not Bong Joon-ho's greatest film for me. I'd put it towards the bottom of the films I've seen of his, but it's still a very, very good film with a great cast. Chris Evans, Song Kang-ho, which is this guy here, who, if you watch Korean films, you'll probably recognise his face because he crops up in a lot of Korean films. Ed Harris, John Hurt, Tilda Swinton, she's brilliant as ever in this. Jamie Bell, Octavia Spencer, Ewan Bremner, yeah, what a great cast. This is all about the world has ended because governments have started spraying this stuff in the sky to block global warming and the ozone layer. Yep. Does it go on today? Maybe. And the only people that are surviving on Earth are travelling on this train that is circumnavigating the globe. I think it takes a year for it to circumnavigate the globe once. And the people at the back of the train are poor. And as you go further and further on the train, it gets richer and more opulent, if you like. And it's all about the people at the back trying to stage this coup so they can get to the front of the train and live a better life. Ed Harris, his character, he's in charge of the train. He's the main man. He's picked everybody who's got in there, which for me, like, unless I miss something, doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're going to, like, pick sort of people to go on this arc to be the last people and to keep humanity going, why would you pick people that you think so low of that you stick right at the back of the train in squalor? Why wouldn't you just, like, pick middle class professional people to keep the gene pool high, sort of thing? That's one thing I take away from this film that doesn't make a bit of sense for me. But apart from that, yeah, it's a really, really good film. Tilda Swinton, she steals the show for me as this sort of northern woman who's sort of like the manager of the train, and she's really quite a horrible character. Yeah, really enjoyed that. That's a good way to finish off the watches. Snowpiercer from Bong Joon-ho. So that was it, guys, over the last couple of weeks. Some very mixed bag this week. Very mixed bag. Some good, the bad, and the bloody awful. I could see myself getting some flack over that one because I know some people like it, but I just thought it was shocking. No, that wasn't for me. Let me know what you think of me watches down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? That's life, isn't it? We all disagree on some things. Give me a like if you like what I've done here today. Maybe thinking about subscribing. Thanks very much for watching. Comment, love your comments. Subs are going well. Everything's good in the hood. Take care, everybody. See you all later. Ta-ra.